What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Capel Outdoor video. And today is a very cool, coldish morning here in Georgia. And what I decided to do today, since I got some really good feedback from my last video about my shotgun, I figured today we would go over the tools and accoutrements that I use when I'm out there doing some hunting. If y'all haven't seen the video of my shotgun and you're curious about it, I will leave a link in the description as well as a time card in the video. The first one we're going to take a look at here, this is a Winchester Model 67. This is a single shot bolt action 22. This shoots 22 shorts, longs, or long rifle. I want to say that this firearm was manufactured around the 1950s. Now, with that being said, these firearms were manufactured from the 1930s, from the early 1930s to the early 1960s. It's very hard to properly date this firearm only because it does not have a serial number. That alone should just tell you how old this firearm is. This is way before they started putting serial numbers on there. And I only say that it's from the 1950s because I think the earlier versions had some finger grooves on the stock here, so that way you can better hold the firearm. Single shot, so it's a bolt action. You put one in the chamber and you close it, but when you work the bolt action, it does not cock the gun. So once you get one loaded, you have to pull this back, and there you go. Now the gun is cocked. And then this right here is the safety. It's a nice old 22. It's very beautiful for its age, as you can see by the stock, but it's just a really gorgeous, beautiful firearm. Now, I will have to get this sighted in next weekend. Actually, this weekend. It is shooting a little bit off, so I want to get this sighted in, but I definitely want to take this 22 hunting with me. Do some squirrel hunting and stuff like that, maybe some smaller game, rabbits or something like that. So definitely looking forward to that. But let's go ahead and get on to the next firearm. This is a CVA Hawken muzzleloader. It's 50 cal muzzleloader, straight iron sights. This is a percussion cap rifle. As you can see here, it takes the caps. Now, if you're not familiar with the Hawken rifle, I want to say that this is it was very popular around the 18th and 19th century. Back when the whole frontiersmen, long hunters, mountain men, those people back in the day. Beautiful firearm. Like I said, it's got a brass stock end right here. It's got brass trigger guard, the percussion cap, and then the iron sights there. For those of y'all who aren't familiar, this muzzleloader right here has two triggers. This is a set trigger, and this is the primary trigger. So what you would do is, once you got all your stuff loaded down the barrel, you put it at half cock and you put a cap on there. Now, when you go to fire it, you go to full cock, you have to press the set trigger, and then by pressing this set trigger, your primary trigger is a hair trigger. Once you set that set trigger, the poundage is like extremely light. I actually had to turn up the poundage on the trigger, and by doing that, I don't know if y'all can see, but right here between the triggers there is a screw, and that's how you adjust the primary trigger once the set trigger has been engaged. But before I changed it, when you pull back that set trigger, you can literally tap the side of the primary trigger and it will fire off. That's the definition of hair trigger. With that being said, it's also unsafe. Not saying I'm gonna walk around the woods with it full cocked and have the set trigger pulled already. For me, the only time I'm gonna have the set trigger pulled is if I'm aiming at something I intend to harvest, whether it be a deer or a pig or whatever. So I would pull it full cock, press the set trigger, and then I'm ready to squeeze off that round. However, I thought it was a little too light, because if I were to do the set trigger and I'm adjusting and I'm accidentally bumped that primary trigger, it might fire off and basically just ruin the hunt there. So I turned it up just a little bit so it takes a little bit more to squeeze off that round. It's also got a patch box here, and then as you can see right here, the ramrod, it's got the end right here. This is a 1032 thread So you could put a ball puller, patch puller, jag on here, as well as got a end right here to ram down your round balls or your conical bullets, whatever you decide to shoot. But this is not the original ramrod. The original one I broke. I was trying to clean my muzzle loader a few days ago, actually, or it was actually this past weekend. I was trying to clean it, and the end right here ended up stripping out of the ramrod. So, and then I broke this other end. It's been a while since I've cleaned my muzzle loader, so I ended up having to make a new ramrod. But other than that, like I said, this is a CVA 50 cal Hawken, as well as a 22 this weekend. I'm going to sight this in. Don't worry, there will be a video about that if you don't want to see this thing fire off. All right, guys, so right here is the hunting bag that I carry with, or I'm going to start carrying with me in the woods. Now, I use this bag either if I'm hunting with my shotgun or the 22 or the muzzle loader. So the bag stays the same, the contents stay the same, and it's not really a lot of things that I'll have to take in and out with it. So first off, let's start with the bag. This is a Oilskin Pathfinder's haversack. I've liked this haversack. It sits up pretty high. Like you can see, it's kind of right here on my side. Can easily get to stuff in here like that, and it's oilskin, so if it rains a little bit, if I'm out there hunting and it starts to rain or drizzle a little bit, not worried about this bag getting wet or damaged. But it's just a nice haversack, really big for its size, so if you wanted to, you could fit a lot of stuff in there. Now, the first on the list is a plastic bag. This is just a really big plastic bag, and I use this when I'm going small game hunting, like squirrels, rabbits, crows, doves, ducks, stuff like that. So if I harvest an animal, I can put the animal inside this plastic bag and then put it in my haversack, so I'm not worried about blood or fur or feathers or whatever just covering the inside of my bag. But this right here is patch lube for my muzzle loader. This is a mixture of 50-50. This is 50% beeswax, 50% avocado oil. You can also use olive oil, and you would take your patch, and if you're shooting a round ball, you would take your patch and you would rub it on here and then put your round ball on there and ram it down the barrel. It acts as lube for the patch and stuff like that. I think what I will say, I think I'll change the ratio a little bit. I think I might do 25% beeswax and 75% either avocado oil or olive oil, just so it's a little bit more pliable. It's still pretty good. You just have to work at it a little bit more than you would normally do if it was a different ratio mixture. But I keep that in an Altoids tin can here. So in this one here, I got sheep's wool. When I muzzle load my shotgun, if you see my previous video, you know about that. So I just keep a wad of sheep's wool in here. So in this Altoids tin can is my cleaning kit. This has a wire brush, copper brush for my muzzle loader. Now, this is the reason why I broke my ramrod. If you're going to use one of these on your muzzle loader, if it's got surface rust on the inside of the barrel or there's heavy fouling in there or whatever, and you need to use this, make sure the bristles are broken in. I got a 3-inch jag. Now, if you don't know what a jag is, this essentially is a cleaning tool for patches. With your barrel, you put a patch over there and you take your 3-inch jag on your ramrod and you'll ram the patch down there, pull it back up, and you'll do that a few times until your barrel's clean. I also have a ball puller, so if you get done hunting and you want to save the lead, you can put this on the end of your ramrod, ram it down the barrel, twist it on there, pull the ball out, whatever. And then in here I also got a patch puller, so sometimes your patches will get stuck inside the muzzle loader and you'll need something to pull the patch out, so it's a patch puller. And then y'all seen my homemade bore snake here, but all that just stands right here in this Altoids tin can. Next thing, for my muzzle loader, it's a ball starter, simple ball starter. They make different ones. You can get plastic handles, wooden handles. I thought about making a deer antler one. Y'all know my obsession with making stuff out of deer antler. A few of these little small tin cans, you can get these at Hobby Lobby. They come in a 6-pack. But in this one here, I have patches. I have pillow ticking patches. This is for muzzle loading, and as well as here in the bottom, some t-shirt patches. So just an old t-shirt cut up into squares. I have cardboard patches. This is for when I'm loading black powder shells. Now in my last video I didn't use these because I was waiting for the actual hole punch tool to come in the mail. 3/4 little cardboard patch. I punch them out of soda cans. And then in here I have my 22 ammunition. Now with my 22 ammunition, you don't have to carry a lot. If you're going small game hunting, like if I'm going camping and I'm going to go hunting and I have my 22, I'll just take this tin can right here, throw it in my pocket, so that way I'm not digging through my bag looking for this small tin can. But it just carries a little few rounds of 22. I think there's about 10 or so in here, and I keep a t-shirt on top of that just so it will minimize the rattling around. I keep my percussion caps for my muzzle loader. I have some cleaning patches here, as well as some t-shirt patches, and I got all my percussion caps in there. And then in this one, I have my 209 shotgun primers here. Again, I just have an old t-shirt just sitting on top of those so they don't rattle around, and I just keep my primers in there. You've seen this before. This is my Carhartt shot bag. Now, I do want to get into minor leather working. So I do want to create a shot bag, a leather shot pouch actually. And my last tin in here is just the little beeswax here. So y'all see me use this in last week's video where I used it to cap off those black powder shells, but I keep a beeswax in here. Black powder shotgun shells tool kit here. And then I got a black powder measure. I got my black powder flask. So as you can see, if I'm wearing it, I have this little paracord hooked on here. And on the inside, I just have them draped. But I got my capper for my muzzle loader, holds all my caps. And then I got the 85 grain black powder measure and my nipple pick. So all that just stands on a lanyard, and I just put it on the inside of my bag. And last but not least, are my projectiles for my muzzle loader. Now I don't keep these in my bag. This is 100 round balls in here, so that it weighs a good 10 pounds or so or whatever. These are 490 lead round balls, so that's what they look like. And the last item is I have the Hornady Great Plains conical bullets. These are 385 grain projectiles. I'm excited to try these out at the range. I'll pull one out of here so y'all can take a look-see. But these are pre-lubed. I don't know if y'all can see that, but there's some lube on the side. So they're pre-lubed, and with the conical bullets, you do not need to use a patch. This right here is a slightly bigger diameter than the rest of the half right here. So when you put it in the barrel, the rifling on your barrel would catch this part, and you'll just send it down the barrel and, you know, squeeze off the round and see what it does. Well guys, if you like this content just as much as I enjoy making it, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want to see more content like this, don't forget to check out the rest of my channel, and stay tuned till next week's video if you want to see me shoot these firearms here. And until next time, I'll see you on the next one.